everybody. This is Matt. I'm back for the PAMA sessions. So, the sessions, to give you a little bit of background, we created that a little bit more than 2 years ago, and the PAMA had become so big of a festival, so challenging of a competition. I mean, there's a lot of competition at the Paris Art and Movie Awards, that we felt the need to create a smaller event, a smaller competition, to give access to the network to a lot of filmmakers, writers, documentary filmmakers, who would not face as many competition going through the sessions. So we have the winter, the fall, the spring, and summer. So we do this 4 times a year, and it's mostly focused on filmmakers talking to filmmakers, artists to understand better the ins and outs, the details of the creation, and how we all work. So this morning today we have Joyce and we have Michiel with us, and we're gonna talk about you guys. Joyce, do you want to start? Do you want to tell us who you are, where you're calling from, and a little bit about your film?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, my name is Joyce, and I am going to be a sophomore next year at NYU.
Sweet.
And yeah, I've got into film. I've been into film my whole life. I always made like little shorts with like my cousins and siblings and all that kind of stuff, and I kind of always knew I wanted to pursue that. So Semblance is a passion project, I guess, that I just decided I wanted to make in my freshman year at school. And yeah, I kind of did it spontaneously, got a bunch of other crazy spontaneous people to, you know,
As you
get
should.
on board. And yeah, we ended up creating this like really awesome project that I think everyone's super proud of.
So it's a student short film, and you just won the PAMA sessions for the student category.
Sorry about the
Congratulations.
noise, by the way.
Don't
Thank you.
Michiel, can you do the same exercise and introduce yourself and a little bit of your film?
Sure, yeah. So my name is Michiel. I made a documentary called Playing the Changes, Tracking Darius Brubeck. It's a jazz documentary. It's about the eldest son, if you're into jazz, and it's about the eldest son of jazz legend Dave Brubeck. He was quite famous with a famous record called Time Out. One of the most famous songs that he made was Take 5 and Blue Rondo a la Turk. I'm sure that when you hear it, then you'll know it. Darius is his oldest son, and he's always when he's performing, he always has to play his father's music. He plays his own music as well, but he always has to finish with Take 5. And when I met him, I got to know him, and what he did eventually is not necessarily become as good as a musician as his father, but he lived during the apartheid. He lived in South Africa, and in South Africa, he established Africa's very first university degree jazz studies for everyone. So regardless of social class or skin color, in a time when it was forbidden for people with a different skin color to interact, he established this school. And that's why I thought that this man deserves a film.
Yeah, it's much more than a documentary about music. I didn't know much. I almost didn't know anything about it. And watching what I've watched, I was learning something every minute. So that was very, very interesting to me. Can you guys tell me what brought you into filmmaking? So my guess is we might have two different answers because we have two people from different generations. Joyce, what brought you into filmmaking? What gave you the spark that had you say, I want to make movies?
Yeah, I mean, the first, I guess, quote unquote movie I ever made, I was like, I think 11. And I did it with, edited on like iMovie, and, it ended up becoming something that I kept doing over and over again. And, I always originally felt that it was just, a hobby, like, the same as, playing with dolls was, and because I was so young. And then I got a little bit older, started watching a lot more films. I think I watched, what really clicked for me was when I watched Rear Window for the first
Okay.
time, because it was set in one location with not that many characters. And I felt
Yeah.
like, wow, you can really make a movie out of anything. And it doesn't have, you
Yes.
don't have to be a big Hollywood, director in order to make what you want to make, and you can have one location, and if you're passionate about it and your story is good, then
A lot of us started like that, in camera movies, one location, 2 actors, and then you learn how to build on that. So it's interesting. You said you started with iMovie. I started making movies on VHS. I feel old saying that. Michiel, what was your first gear? What was your first camera?
I think my first camera was a borrowed camera from film school that my older brother attended. So it wasn't even my own camera. It was a Super 8 or something, or
Super 8?
Digital 8. No,
Cool.
Digital 8. It's not even on celluloid. So I live in Holland. So I only grew up with a lot of European films, but also
Yeah.
Hollywood films, and I was doing something else actually. I was somewhere in my teens, and I remember I was a bicycle repairman, and I realized that
Okay.
this isn't really what I want to do.
Yeah.
With my life. It's a good job. There's a lot of bicycles in Holland, but I thought that this might not be for me for the rest of my life. So
Yeah.
so I decided to read a book on filmmaking, because I thought, what do I like? I like watching movies, go to the cinema, and all of that. So
Maybe I'm gonna like making them.
yeah, exactly that. And I did. I made one with that borrowed camera, and it was shit. Really, it was really bad. But the thing was that I really liked the process, of
Yes.
making the film, and I was thinking that if I do this, and the end result is bad, I can always do it again, and hopefully the end result is a little bit better. So that's basically how I started out, and I never stopped.
It is pretty incredible because I relate to that a lot. My first movies, we learned on the spot. Okay, when do we start the camera? When do we stop the camera? Okay, and then you have to move and change angle. So when it goes from the movies you watch to how do you recreate that same feel. It's a lot of instincts at first, and these are very vivid memories to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So tell me a little bit, Joyce, about Semblance. How did it come together? You said a bunch of friends, an idea, and then it happened.
Pretty much, and honestly, it wasn't even really friends at first, because it was freshman year of university, and almost everyone I worked with was also freshmen, and none of us knew each other, and it was first semester, and we were all kind of learning and navigating our spaces, and we all ended up through conversation and through oh, you're interested in this, I'm interested in this, we kind of all bonded together and started reaching out. I started reaching out to people. And what was the second part of the question?
What I was interested in is tell me a little bit about the story. What is it about?
Yeah, sure. It's about a couple and how they move in together, and ultimately how the relationship falls apart since they move in with one another.
How long is a movie?
I think it's about 5.5 minutes, if I remember correctly.
It's a good duration.
Yeah.
Very cool. Michiel, you described a little bit about describe the relationship, the legacy of the father to the son, and the pressure the son felt to be as good as the father. And how do you find your own lane in the same field? So, as a filmmaker from the outside, how do you get into the mind of one artist and try to understand that whole process? That's very intimate.
It's a good question. I like jazz music.
So you understand that already, okay?
Yeah, I'm not a musician myself, but I do like listening to music. It's funny that my older brother and my younger brother are both musicians, and somehow that DNA didn't get to me, you know.
Okay.
But when I met him, I'm really story driven, basically. When I heard Darius tell this story, and if you're into a little bit of jazz, then you know the story of his father, what he's done in Eastern Europe during the 50s. You automatically see a connection, between what his father did in the 50s and what he's done in the 80s. So it was. For me, it was when he told this story, it was automatically thinking that this could be a very interesting, how do you say that, mirror between two generations. And to get into his mind is I don't want to sound it very simple, but it is just listening to what the person on camera has to say and try to live that time, even though you can't, but try to understand what they were trying to do back in the 80s, so that way you try to get into someone's mind.
Okay, very interesting. Joyce, there's some music playing in your film, and we see a record player.
Yes.
An old vinyl record player. As a filmmaker, how would you describe the place of music in your film, and more in general, as an inspiration maybe for you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a huge music lover. I love music in general, and the record player is something. It's mine. I just took it and used it as a prop. But I love also like tactile objects. So like physical books, physical like vinyl records, and all that kind of stuff. If I ever have the opportunity to film on film, that would also all that kind of stuff. But I think that music a lot of the times can add a sense of symbolism, but also tonality. And I think we spent a lot of time deciding what songs we actually wanted to use, because the song on the record isn't the song that plays. And yeah, we spent hours, I think, looking for something that felt matched the tone and what we were trying to convey. Yeah.
Very cool. Michiel, one question that's more specific, documentary oriented. How long did it take you to film the documentary? Did you do it over the course of 3 months, 2 years? How long did it span in your life?
The first scenes that we filmed were in 2018. So in 2018, I went with Darius and his wife to Poland, which is a very important country for the story. His father went there in the 50s, and then in 2019 we went to South Africa, which obviously is the most important country for the documentary. And in that same year, we did the as I like to refer to, the Frost Nixon interview, because I interviewed Darius at his home for about a week, and he lives in England. So that was in the same year. And then over the course of 2 years, I think effectively we filmed just under 2 months. But since we didn't have a budget from a channel or a distributor or whatever, we were just going as we, when we had some money, we can go again,
Yeah, because it sounds like you paid for your own travel, your own accommodation, on 3 different continents. So did you?
2 different continents, yeah. But so we went to England, Poland, and South Africa, and there are producers attached to the film that invested in the documentary, and
Okay,
but
good.
it's never enough. You always have to invest yourself as well. But yeah, we yeah.
So where are you at in terms of distribution? Do you have a distribution company? Do you know where the movie is it gonna be released on Amazon? I don't know.
No, so the well, no, I wouldn't say problem. The getting the rights of music
Yes.
is can be a very expensive endeavor. We do have the rights to the Brubeck music since they are attached to the film, but I also have archival footage. I have some music, for instance, from Duke Ellington Take the A Train, some other songs, and you need to clear them through, let's say, Sony Music Publishing or whatever. So we since we don't have a TV channel attached, we could only afford to have the film in film festivals. So that's why we're now doing the festival run, the film festival run. It's already been amazing. The film is being very well received, and you know, somehow we hope to encounter the right person, and hope to extend the life of this documentary past the film festival circuit.
It's definitely a very good piece of documentary that should be on TV, or
Thank
on
you.
a streamer or anywhere. But it is a very tough market right now. So yeah, I would go TV for something as specific as music. But definitely you have to knock at as many doors as you can to find the right opportunities for the film.
Yeah, and film festivals work really well. If you got into a good film festival, you meet people. You know, there were some interesting people in the audience at a film festival in North Carolina where we were. They were really supportive, and they had really good ideas, and they wanted to film in their education, and you know, so it's really when you get out there and you show your film, you really sort of you enlarge the possibility of being seen and picked up and have a new life for the film. Yeah.
Absolutely. Joyce, you said this is your first film, correct?
Yeah, my first, I guess, real with like real
real.
equipment. And, yeah.
Do you have another one coming up? Are you going to continue down this road?
Yeah, I'm taking an intensive class right now, and you know, making
Cool.
a lot of stuff in that. I took another intensive class last semester and made a lot of stuff in that. And I'm currently writing a personal project, which I hope to be filming next year. So.
Okay. Are you staying in the same genre, or are you going to explore different styles?
I think I definitely want to keep exploring. I think, especially in the course I'm in right now, I've been trying to explore different genres and styles, different techniques, and you know, kind of like broaden what it is I actually want to do and discover that. So.
Have you been to echo Michiel remarks? Have you been to a lot of film festivals?
No.
Not yet. Is it something you want to do? You want to keep going to film festivals?
Yeah.
Yeah?
For sure. Yes, definitely.
Okay. Guys, anything else you want to add about your film? Anything else you want the people watching to know about the films you made?
Go and watch it when you have the chance, and
Obviously, that's why we're here.
yeah, and go and watch the Brubecks, because they still perform, and it's if you're into music, and if you, in my case, if you're into music and into jazz, then and into sort of a story that you probably haven't heard yet, go and watch the film somewhere. Yeah.
Have you had the chance, Joyce, to show the movie in your own school?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah. How did it go? What was the reception?
I think it was good. Positive reception. Yeah. Also,
Was it scary?
nerve-wracking too. Sorry.
Was it scary to show it to your classmates?
Yeah, I think it's the scariest to show it to people you know.
Yeah,
Family.
definitely. That was my point. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's much easier to show any of your film to people you don't know,
Yeah.
in a movie theater or anywhere, because then anything they say, you feel like you can handle. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Hmm.
When it's people you know, it's always like tainted or angled in a way that it echoes so many things. Whatever.
Yes.
You get what I want to say. Okay, guys, thank you very much for being a part of this. Thank you for trusting us with your film, whether it's the Paris Art and Movie Awards or the sessions like we do today, or the Hollywood Festival we have in Los Angeles, Santa Monica last time. It's really about people meeting each other and getting to be introduced to projects, movies, creations that you wouldn't know about if it was not for the film festivals and these type of dialogues. So thank you very much for being a part of it, and good luck for the continuation of your films and for the next one, obviously.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Talk
All
to you
right.
soon.
Have a
Have a
lovely
very good
day.
rest of your day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.